Hey, Wellhouse, this is Joey and Kelly Walker.
Hi.
We are so honored to be able to share with you guys during this Holy Week. It's definitely crazy, strange times that we are in right now, but we know that God is still sovereign and He still has a word for us during this week. As we've been praying and kind of studying through this Holy Week and the stories in the Bible, we were really struck by how, on Sunday, it's Palm Sunday, and we see Jesus making this triumphal entry into the city of Jerusalem, and the people are praising God. They're throwing their robes down, they're throwing palm branches down, and they're worshiping God, and they're asking Jesus to save them, and they're giving him the king treatment. And what's interesting though is as we move throughout the week, we see Thursday night Jesus having the Lord's Supper, the Last Supper with his followers, and then Friday, some of those same people that were there on Sunday are yelling out, "Crucify him," and have turned on Jesus. And we know that Jesus went to the cross and died, and then on Sunday was raised. That's what we celebrate for Easter. But the thing that stood out to us so much was just how misunderstood Jesus' earthly ministry was. I really think that first century Jews, right, they were living under the Roman rule. They had all these Old Testament prophecies about a Messiah that was going to come save them. And, I think they thought Jesus was maybe that person, but they thought he was going to come with a sword, set up an earthly kingdom, take over the Roman Empire. They were going to reign right then and there, when really Jesus came to set up an everlasting heavenly kingdom, right? And Jesus tried to explain that to his close followers, and through parables and sayings that he said. But I think they just didn't really get it, especially the people that were kind of on the fringe of following Jesus. I want you to see this verse that Jesus says in John 18. So Jesus has been arrested. He's taken before Pilate, and Pilate is kind of trying to figure out, all right, why are you here? Who are you? Why are you in my courts? And Pilate asked him, who are you? And Jesus says, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would have been fighting that I might not be delivered over to the Jews. But my kingdom is not from this world. And I think that's the point that Jesus was trying to get across. They thought there was going to be this earthly kingdom set up, but really what Jesus had in store, what God's plan all along was so much better. It was a heavenly kingdom, redemption for the whole world, where we can be reconciled to God, our sins taken away, from death to life. And that's what Easter is about. That's what Jesus came to do. And that's what we see in the Holy Week.
Yes, so as Joey was saying, Jesus was really misunderstood. The Jews believed him to be somebody who was going to make their lives easier, better on earth with this earthly kingdom that they had envisioned. But in reality, what Jesus had planned was infinitely better. And so we kind of both were thinking about how fitting this is for this time that we're in right now in the world, this crazy, crazy time that we are in, and how so many people's, we can sometimes get distracted on earth in building up earthly kingdoms for ourselves, things that can be good, but when become, our whole focus become not good.
Yeah, especially during this time when there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Like whenever there's this crisis, we want to kind of grab on and cling to the things that we can control, right? The things that we have.
Earthly things.
Yeah.
For sure. But so we were kind of thinking the questions to ask right now. I mean, this is a perfect time to self-reflect, especially Holy Week. And so we kind of want to challenge y'all to think about in ourselves, how do we view Jesus? How do we view him in the middle of a crisis? How do we view him when our earthly kingdoms have been completely taken away, and then overnight for some people, their businesses have been completely destroyed. People are in debt, buildings, people are going to have to give up, just all kinds of things. And so, do we still view Jesus as who he says he is? The person who died for us to create a heavenly kingdom for us that is going to be better than anything on earth. And so we just want to encourage y'all to spend some time to really think this week. Do you view Jesus as somebody who is just there to help you build up your earthly kingdom or to give you things? Or do you only praise his name when things on earth are going well for you? Or do we really truly view Jesus for who he says he is and trust that this life is temporary and that we were created for a kingdom in heaven that is waiting for us? And I really, really believe that when we fix our eyes on Jesus, on things not of this world, on things that are eternal, that's what brings peace in the middle of chaos, which we are all in. When we fix our eyes on Jesus, I truly believe that he will bring peace. So just spend time talking to God. Ask God to help you experience peace, even joy, and anticipation this week for what is to come this weekend. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Miss y'all.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Holy Week.